Welcome everyone to another episode of Amnesia, The Dark Descent. Let's carry on with the walkthrough.
It sure is dark in here.
Yes, and there's a good reason for it. But you can light the lamp now if you wish.
What's the reason? For the darkness, that is.
Stay close. Be careful not to stray.
What's the reason? Why is it so dark?
Pay attention, Daniel. It's important that you keep going straight and make sure not to stray.
I don't know why Alexander was hiding the reason behind the darkness, but I would assume that it's because it's you know, to hide the servants, perhaps. Okay, that's just straight lazy. What the hell? I can do better mapping than this. Anyway, let me fix the pump again because it's making noises. There we go. There isn't much around this area, apart from random sounds in the distance.
Of June, 1839. It's been more than a month since my last entry. After the event inside the underground chamber in Algeria, Professor Herbert insisted I return to England. He said he didn't want to risk forfeiting the entire expedition lest I took a turn for the worse. An excessive decision, in retrospect. But I'm glad it turned out that way. I found my journal this morning in the haphazard collection of things brought home from Africa. Next to it lay the broken stone orb wrapped in cloth. I tried to assemble it, but couldn't. The pieces wouldn't fit together, as if they weren't from the same object. Could I have imagined it all? Was there ever a complete orb?
The question hangs in the air. The purpose here is to enter this area, which is blocked from the other side. And the secret lies in the darkness. Being hidden by the entrance is being hidden by these boxes. Whoa. I'll just keep exploring this area before moving forward. We might have something useful on another piece of the story.
25th of June, 1839. I feel the need to continue this journal, even though it was intended for my journey to Africa. This must be something very important. I just know it. I've taken it upon myself to piece the orb back together, but it's been more difficult than one might think. The pieces are behaving strangely. They seem to change color, shape, and texture, but ever so slightly. Yesterday, I took careful measurements and notated any significant markings. Today, I confirmed my suspicions. They were changing. I was terrified and rushed off to see the finest geologist in London, Sir William Smith. I approached the subject with care and we discussed how rocks change form. He told me about the nature of glass, how it eventually collapses on itself, like ice slowly melting over the course of centuries. Smith eased my mind a bit, but I can't escape the feeling that these shards have otherworldly properties.
Nice, now I'm starting to go insane. No insanity potion. crashed through the surface. Dark Atlantic waters smother him as he struggled to make sense of the situation. Here comes the famous water part. Eat, damn it! Something large brushed against his leg and he felt himself being dragged along by the current of the beast. He pushed himself above the surface. "Help!" he cried, as the ocean swallowed him again. And the carnage continues. It's not over. Damn it. He felt himself being hoisted out of the ocean. The lacquered hull of SS Hortensia glittered in the soothing warm yellow light of a setting sun. He turned his head to the calm ocean reaching towards the coast of Portugal and thought, is this another dream? I hate on that last map how the monster just teleports through doors. It just doesn't make any sense. If it were to make sense, then the whole escape thing would be too easy if you just closed the doors. So, here it is, the second hub of the game. There's already a crate of goodness. Let's go upstairs and visit our own room. Tried to fit the pieces together, but like the sand dunes, they shifted when you weren't looking.
My journal is gone. What would they want with my journal? July 1839. I received a letter today from the Algerian governor's office disclosing the fate of Herbert's expedition. About a week after my departure, Abdullah, one of the men traveling with us, returned from the desert. He was badly injured, as if maimed by a lion. The man rambled deliriously about the expedition being attacked by something horrible. The French quickly dispatched a search party to look for the expedition. After searching for days, they found the camp abandoned without any trace of Herbert or his men. Tomorrow, I'll retrieve the things they recovered from Herbert's tent at the customs house. I don't know what to make of it, but I'm worried for him.
That's not good.
July 1839. Today I picked up Herbert's things at the customs house. I dug through the trove of documents he had carried and found a log detailing the expedition. The nature of this text ranged from quick notes to colourful accounts of transpired events. I skimmed the pages, trying to figure out what might have happened. May 17th, the day I was trapped inside the orb chamber, Herbert dryly states, "Recovered Daniel after 1 hour of entrapment." This confused me greatly. I was suffocating within minutes. How could I have lasted an hour? I continued reading the peculiar text. Herbert states his facts without judgment or passion, but suddenly I could read frustration into his text. He pushed his men to investigate the underground tomb, an effort which seems to have strained the minds of his men. Madness spread through the ranks, and Herbert had to take some extreme measures to continue. He finally visits the chamber himself, where he retrieves the orb to the surface. His account confuses me greatly. If he has the orb, what are those pieces in my drawing room?
Oh boy. No, not this. Roba.
The key. Please, let it be here.
An important key is hidden in the guest room. Right here.
Oh, thank God, there it is. I guess it is a good place to hide it then. 4th of July, 1839. It's done. The orb is assembled. I was awakened by an exhausting nightmare. Shaking and sweating, I retired to the drawing room with a cup of tea. The relic pieces lay spread across the table as I'd left them, but somehow I knew how it was supposed to be. I fetched the tar, which I had prepared to fix the pieces together, and without fault I joined them, producing the orb I remembered so clearly. The tar proved unnecessary. It was pushed out from the joining pieces as they merged on their own, with no adhesive. The ancient stone relic now rests on my table. Its immaculate surface and perfect shape could have been molded by a factory. This is all too strange.
Well, the only thing you shouldn't do is try to get close to that closet. You will regret it. They flipped through the Book of Monarchs, looking for etchings, and counted. 9 different kings from all over Europe had been depicted with an orb resting in their hands. Now to the study room. This part. Professor Taylor was the second death caused by his damned curiosity. Whose curiosity? Professor Taylor's? Or someone else's? Let's search for some story bits. Cylinder, cylinder. More pianos, that's like the 3rd piano I see. Probably missed some more. Okay. That's actually a very nice looking area of the game. I like it. Take that paper in a second. Well, thought I had seen something on the ground. It's just my imagination. Let's take a look at this note. Letter regarding the discovery of an orb. To my most trusted student and friend, Johann Wire. The most remarkable thing happened as I was traveling through the Prussian woods this summer. I finally found one of the orbs I have been looking for the last 20 odd years. It is as inexplicable as the Heliodromus described it in the Hortus Conclusus. It was as it was told about. An underground Mithraic temple crowned with the unearthly artifact. The orb was big enough to fill my cupped hands, and the texture was smooth and jagged, its color washed like rich. Contrast is not enough to describe its nature. It was an impossibility, an artificial paradox captured within stone. I was staying in a nearby village called Altstadt, investigating one of the antiquated trails. When I finally found the cavern, I went inside and suddenly I could verify the truth of these enigmatic artifacts. They were real. As you can understand, this is the most important discovery of my life, but it has also become my greatest fear. As I entered the underground chamber, I could feel that I was trespassing. Because of my curiosity, I did my best to fight these instincts and fetch the orb from its place. I scrambled out of the chamber into the woods. I could sense something was following me. It bayed out loudly as it closed in. The beast, the guardian of the orb, was relentless in its pursuit. I made my way to a nearby ravine where I stumbled upon some men fishing in the lake. I tried to warn them as I passed, but fortunately they remained as I continued my escape. When I heard their cry of pain echo through the valley, I felt such a tremendous sense of relief, thinking I would be spared. Suddenly, a blue shimmering light engulfed me, and the colors of the forest were washed away before my eyes. I kept running through the bleak surroundings, and the trees had turned charcoal, black with leaves of cinder. The ground covered in murky water. I pressed on through the drenched land as the glowing amber gave way to the rising wind and rained on me. I could hear pleading screams in the distance, and I joined in as pain and fear overtook me. I fell to the ground, gasping for air. This certainly must sound strange, but I had been carried miles away across the Alps to a grassy field outside Genoa. The guardian had taken the orb from me, but still, until this day, I fear its return. Sometimes I lay awake at night, listening for the howling cry I heard in the forest. It has been nearly a decade since that day, and I still haven't been able to write about the incident. The last time we spoke, you told me about your interest and ongoing research into the mythic orbs, and I realized I owe you the truth about my visit to Altstadt. Your friend and mentor, Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, which is someone we are going to talk to later in the story. Let's continue. That was a long note, actually. Wow. Okay. For every single breakable thing in this game, you can either click it multiple times or you can use a close by object to break it, like this hammer. Although you can still click multiple times on the window and it's still going to break. It's just semi-linearity, like it's linear but not really. Free falling, couldn't see it. When will it be my turn? My turn. Have I not shown restraint? My patience spans centuries. From where I came, mankind has not even wasted a breath. Yet I bow to you. I have done so much for you, and I have gained nothing in return. Agrippa, I trusted you. It was I who, in all fairness, should have entered that gate. There's just so much story behind this game that I never truly understood because I just rushed through everything. So this series is more like an opportunity for me to look back at the game and try to understand the story properly. Or at least try to understand it fully. If the elevator breaks down again, make sure to use the steam engine to build up pressure before channeling it into the machinery. Adjust the levers to get the right amount of pressure inside the chamber. The meters should read up 8, up and down 8. Make sure the flow is set according to the following chart. Trinity steam set functions: 4-phase amplitude, complete steam flow cycle. Note that the machine will not check proper configuration until all rods are inserted. Quite an advanced machine for the 1830s. Fucking huge ass crate for 2 tinderboxes. And a massive cave-in with floating rocks and all. This game is actually pretty cruddy on its mapping when you take a look at it.
Let's see what you have to offer. What a mess. I should have sharpened the saw, but I can sense it. It's definitely there.
Anatomy of Frontiers, 1658, January 9th. Further disappointment. The antiquarian's latest findings yielded nothing. I'm still unable to grasp the inner workings of life and its relation to the power I sense within it. I shall pursue more books on the subject, but I suspect it'll be in vain. Since no research has been made in my particular interest, I must attempt to fill that void myself. Clearly humans emanate more of the energy I seek, but I hope animals will suffice, as they would prove less of a hassle to acquire. Animal experiment, Canis lupus familiaris, 1658, April 12th. After a short study, it is clear that the agitation found among humans can be found in the dog. Fear and pain-induced stress, which seems to trigger an endogenous response, causing the animal to burst with energy. I believe that the catalyst is produced in the brain. It is difficult to determine exactly where and what it is, but I can sense it. It reeks of cosmic genesis. There is an inherent problem in harvesting this energy, since the creature is bound to die from the exercise. I must refine this process of torture to enable any real work to be done. More experiments must be performed, but it seems that only human beings are able to produce the amount necessary. It might be their ability to appreciate the severity of the process that ultimately augments their experience of terror. Like, this part doesn't have anything to do with the story, but it kind of adds a little bit to the background. Alexander is trying to extract vitae from persons and whatever for some reason. The strange letter frightened him, but it was also the only one which offered some comfort. Okay, so we visited both rooms. And now we'll take a dive into the area which a lot of people believe it's the scariest part of this game, which is the storage. It's not a hard part, but it's quite scary. Let's take a dive. Sir William Smith had been marked. There was no way for him to know that the young man from the other day could cast such a terrible shadow. Oh boy. The darkness in the storage feels strange and unnatural. Well, it's a fucking storage. What would you expect? So I believe that this is the first deadly grunt encounter in the game. I'm just not sure. When you pick this drill, hide immediately, because there is a monster over here. Is the are the insanity effects are not even enabled? They add some to the game. This is the first deadly grunt encounter, which is like one of the main enemies of the game. And it goes away quite quickly. What gives you away that the enemy is gone is the music. That's what the music is there to give the player an indication that the monster is, and it's not there. Does that make any sense? But yeah, the grunt here goes away quite quickly. However, you should be careful. See, the music has stopped, so we're fine to move forward.
Please, let me go. I won't tell anyone, I swear. I just want to go home. No! Get away from me! Leave me alone!
A rebel from a cave-in is hindering further passage in the storage. Find a way to get through. So that's the first quest. Machine parts. Kind of lighting up the place a little bit. Now, here's one of the fun parts about Amnesia, which I like a lot. Just clear away this stuff. Let me show you a neat trick you can do to break this game, although it's not the intention of the series. So yeah, that's the neat trick of the disappearing barrel. Or if you play around enough, it's the trick of the disappearing door. See that? So yeah. So what really we have to do in this area is we need to blow up that cave-in. And so to do that, just light up this place a little bit. We got like a shit ton of tinderboxes over the game. So we have two large barrel containers, something like that. We also got more tinderboxes all spread around this area, which I find to be quite neat. Why? So yeah, we already have the drill, but I still want to find the note about the story. Here it's quite dusty. Here it is. Regarding explosive mixture. Alexander, I have prepared the explosive you needed for clearing the flood drain. I can't stress enough how important it is that the mixture is handled with care. Please try to tell your feather-brained servants this before you go ahead with your plans. The liquids are not by themselves explosive and should be kept separated to avoid further mishaps. I have arranged 2 large vats in the next room for the ingredients. All you need to do is mix the liquids and ready to go. Agrippa. The same guy again. Another torch. making the place a little bit, just killing a little bit the atmosphere by lighting up the place, because that's essentially what we're doing. We can just combine this drill, and now what we do is there's no order to mix the substances, so you can go ahead and be free to do them in any order you like, even though here I did them in the actual right way. Okay, picked up explosive, and we're out of oil. One thing people complained about in this area is always, how did he get stuff down here if there's no door? And why would you store things down there? So, just go ahead and blow up that cave-in. The area has quite a lighter atmosphere now that we pretty much set all the candles on fire. Get out of here. Let's get out of here. Whoa! Alright. There are tinderboxes everywhere. There isn't so much about like written story in this area of the game. There are lots of flashbacks.
Why are you doing this? Get away from me!
So yeah, we have a lot of flashbacks, but not so much in actual written story, which is not a bad thing. It's sort of a different way of telling the story from what the game was doing till now. So, as you can see, I'm really taking more time than I would usually do to explore these areas, especially if you watched the Amnesia on VHS stream. That's usually how I play this game, but not on these series. I'm really taking my time to explore and understand everything in a way that I never did before. Now here is a deadly monster encounter, but a funny one. Practically there isn't anything in there. See that? Did you see that? Yeah. Oh, I actually failed. I failed to fucking hell. I actually fucked up, and now he is a true monster. In case of a missing rod, if a full set of 3 rods is unavailable, there is 1 rod in the inner study rooms which might work in case the elevator breaks down again. Unless it is absolutely necessary, always use the spare rods in the storage before using a mended one. So what I'm going to do now is something you should not do normally unless you are an experienced player like me and you have a runtime to have. So let's just take these. And what I'm gonna do is run. Because I made this guy really angry now. That guy forgot about me, but there's another one right over here. Again, teleporting monsters. It kind of sucks, really. He panted heavily, trying his best to keep himself from screaming. The medicine cabinet had been overturned and lay collapsed on the floor. He reached through the broken glass door and grabbed all the sedatives he could find. Ah, that noise. Well, anyway, this is it for another episode of Amnesia, The Dark Descent. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video. With Back to TF2, Nomad Minecraft, and Amnesia, The Dark Descent. Again, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.